YouTubers, what we are going to do today is we are going to etch on irregularly shaped acrylic blanks here. So a lot of times when you buy like pre-made acrylic shapes from like the smaller companies, they'll give you the SVG file for it. So then you can go put your design on it. You have the outline for it. But if you buy them from like Amazon or Etsy or one of the bigger places, they don't always do that, or a craft store. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the template for these today so that then you can etch on them correctly without the good old wing it and pray for the best method. We will be using the PixScan Mat. Please, please, please do not turn off the video. I promise it will not be a traumatic experience. We're not using it for what it's intended for. We're just going to take a picture with it. I'll hold your hand and it will be okay. So let me go show you what you need. Alright, so this is our aforementioned PixScan Mat. I promise it's not that bad. Stick with me. And then whatever acrylic blank you wish to use. So these are some hearts I got off Amazon. This is a plant marker that I got from Hobby Lobby. So whatever acrylic blank you want to etch on. And then your etching tool of choice. This is the Power Engraver, and then this is the precision etching tool, that the Chomos precision etching tool. I've got tutorials up on both of these. Now we're going to use this because I'm just going to solidly fill in the etch here. So like this one where I've just solid filled in the etch, I think this guy does a really good job of it. Now if you want to do like a liney design with like an open straight liney kind of deal here, this is your tool you're going to want for it. So depending on what you want, pick your tool here. And then I've still had my same template on my debris tray in my Curio too. Same one, made from the same chipboard that I did many months ago. I told y'all not to leave it all taped to the debris tray. I did not take my own advice, so it's still the same one that I made in the original etching video. So whatever template material you want to cut out of, you're going to need that as well. Now, I've got tutorials up where we've etched on these 3-inch clear acrylic circles. I highly recommend you have gotten this down. If you've tried this before, that you're kind of comfortable with this and how the machine does this before you try this. This is kind of the next step when we get tired of the circles and we want to do something else. We're going to come to this. So I wouldn't call this a beginner tutorial, and I would not call it beginner friendly or silhouette beginner friendly. I would highly recommend this tutorial with the circles on it. I've done 2 of them, once with the Power Engraver and one with the Chomos tools, depending on your design, which one you want. So highly recommend those before you do this one. Alright, so we're going to take our blank and put it on a white piece of paper. You want it to be a high contrast. So I'm going to use a black pen on my white piece of paper, and then we're going to trace the outline of it. Make sure your pen is riding right along the edge of your blank here. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, you just want it along that outside edge. Okay, and then we're going to cut it out and we're going to put it on our mat here. Alright, so that is our heart already cut out here. And then I'm going to take my sticky mat off here. And then I'm just going to put it on my mat here. My mat's still sticky enough that it's going to stick here. Now, you probably do want to do the t-shirt trick. If it's a brand new sticky mat, putting a piece of paper on it may not be wise. But you just want to tack it down so there are no shadows. Alright, so now we're going to take a picture of this, the whole mat. All of it needs to be in here. And make sure your picture is straight on, not at an angle, and that there's no shadows. Because the computer's going to want to trace any of the shadows. Also, make sure there's no like flecky or weird thing on your mat. So straight on picture, straight down, no shadows, and then go send it over to your computer. Alright, so we are in Silhouette Studio. This is my current version of Silhouette Studio. Yes, there is a newer version, version 5, but it was just released and we're going to make sure all of the bugs are out of it before I download it. So that is what we are currently using. Now we are going to come over to this button that says pick, and it's going to give me this window, and I'm going to import from the file here. Now when it imports, it's going to tell me that I have an iPhone 6. I have an iPhone 13 as well, but this version of the software didn't include the calibration for it in here already. So that's why I just took my picture with my iPhone 6. I don't know anything about calibration cards and tests and all of this stuff. I don't know. So I'm sorry, I can't help you there. And we're going to open it and see, it'll tell me it's from my iPhone 6, and then it'll open a new window for me here. And this is our picture. And the nice thing about this PixScan Mat is that this comes in at the appropriate scale. So what we are going to do now is we're going to go over here to the trace window, the butterfly, and we're going to trace our image here. And then this is the part where I remind y'all I know nothing about tracing. I just kind of move these around until it looks like it's supposed to. And so what I want is a solid yellow outline of our heart here. And that's why I told you to have a high contrast pen here, because it's easier to trace it. See, with the white on the white, it's not wanting to pick up this piece of paper. It is a little bit here, but I just want a big outline here. And then we are going to trace. And that gives us our little heart here. Now what you're going to want to do now is, this is our heart we've traced. We're going to right click and hit replace compound path. This inside part is what I want. The outside edge of this is, I don't need any of this. I want this part right here. Now you can double click on it and see if there's any wonky little nodes here. Like up here on this one, see if I click on it, I have all of this. You can delete these little nodes if you need to help clean up your image, but my inside trace here was fine. There's nothing too egregious. If you end up, so the thing with the nodes that you kind of need to keep in perspective here is every time you hit one of these, the machine is going to turn. So if you have like 8 million little nodes in a row, you're going to want to clean out some of those. But this does not look bad. So we are going to copy this one. And we're going to go paste it over here on my Curio 2 circles. Now this is the same file I've been using for all the Curio videos. This is all the stuff I've made. And this is my original circle that we did the original videos on. This is my garden marker here. This is the first heart I tried and I traced it wrong and it's too big. And then this is my secondary heart that we're going to use for this video. So you would just paste this into your window and put it wherever you need to. And as long as you don't move it or your template that you cut it in, you can reuse this for months on end, like I have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out on our template material here. And then we'll put in our heart. So this is our little heart right here, and we're in carriage 1 on my Curio 2 here, and we have the chipboard selected, and we're going to auto blade here, and then we're just going to cut that one shape. Everything else is turned off. I leave the settings as is, and I've never had a problem with it getting cut. And we'll go let our machine do its little dance, and then we'll have a little heart template. Briefly, I did want to talk about our debris tray. This is the Curio 2 here. I've set this up and talked about it at length in other videos, but briefly, this is you have to buy this. It's an additional purchase from Silhouette. And then I took a 12 by 12 mat and taped it down to the plastic tray here. And you can see the grid lines through it. And then on top of that, I put our chipboard and I've taped it down. And then we've been using it for our template material for our acrylic. So our acrylics sit in here and that's how we etch them. Now I'm going to put in the blade here. It's an auto blade. It's going to go in carriage 1 up there, and it's going to cut out this heart for you I've already done it because I wanted to make sure our sizing and everything was right before I made the video for you. But it's going to show you cutting this guy out, and then we are going to put our little heart in it. All right, so we're going to take out, I use these to cover up my cutouts here to keep, because remember we're going to make dust. See, we're making dust because we're etching. So I use these as my little cutouts to like put over my mat here. Or I use, this is actual acrylic blanks here, because it does make dust, and see, it's a good nice fit there. And then I'm going to use some washi tape here to, if I have to take tape off or cutting off or anything like that, I swear that if this video is rolling, it is going to be a pain. All right, we're going to tape down my little heart to my mat here. Alright, so we're still in the send panel here, so we're going to take our heart here and we're going to hit no cut. Then we're going to go back over to our design over here, and this is our heart here. So what we're going to do is, this is a font I made called Sweetheart font. I'll leave a link down below if anybody wants it, but I've already got everything arranged in my little heart here. You're just going to take whatever it is you want to etch here and put it in your heart. Make sure we have a hole up here, so make sure you have avoided that a bit. So here we are. We're going to come up here to the Specialty Tools panel, and it's the third one over. It's called Power Engraver. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to put, it's called the hash marks. I call it the hash marks. And I'm going to put it all the way down because I want this all the way filled in. And then the angle doesn't matter because it's just going to etch everything out. But see, what it's done is it's put in 8 million little lines for us, and it's going to draw out all of these lines. And since they're really close together, it's just going to result in a completely white design here. You have different design here. You have different design fills here if you want them. Now this is a chunky font and has been okay when it's been etched. Up here for this one, when I did, so this one, the Brandywine Tomato, so this is the original font here. So this is the original font here, and see what I did is I put an internal offset around it. So here it is, and then we did the internal offset. And it's just a teeny tiny one so that it gives the Power Engraver a little bit more room, because the Power Engraver is going to want to make things fatter. It goes along the outside edge and it just makes things fatter. So if you're going to use a chunky font or if a squished together font, this is a trick you can use to help kind of mitigate the fact that the Power Engraver is going to make your outline fatter. If you're going to use one of the Chomos tools, you don't have to do this, but there was a little tip for that. So Silhouette has said that they're going to come out with a smaller Power Engraver tool, but they said that last year, and so far I have not heard any actual details on the release. So when we do, we'll talk about it. All right. But this is a chunky font, lots of room. We should be good to go. We're going to go over to our send panel here, and this is going to want to light all up, but it's red, which is in carriage 1. The Power Engraver is in carriage 2 down here. So you're going to select all of this and tell it no cut. We are going to go down here to carriage 2, So I'm going to hold the shift key and select my M and my J and my C. And then we're going to put in Power Engraver action. It's going to turn blue, which is showing the carriage 2 here. I've picked metal etching sheets here, my Power Engraver, and then it knows my Power Engraver is in there. And then I have been using a force of 9 and a speed of 2. And so it's all ready to go here. I am going to hit send and we're going to watch it do its dance. Alright, so we're all done. I haven't paintbrushed this at all, so that's all the dust that has accumulated. Alright, so I finished wiping the dust off with a damp paper towel, and that is what she looks like. We can take the back off. Now I'm hopefully have made this a quicker Curio video. If I've left anything out or if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. This was intentionally an attempt to be a quicker video because I know long videos sometimes are a trudge to kind of get through, so hopefully you feel like this was a good video for y'all. And this should work on any shape that you come across. You would be able to make your template for it and cut it and be able to etch it and etch it precisely. If you're like, yeah, that's too much work for me, your other method would be to sacrifice a blank, put it on the Curio mat, and trial and error until you get it in the right spot. So, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Be back with another tutorial soon.